Hey, good evening, LinkedIn. Dave Wilson of Results Staffing. Hey, listen, great show. Two subjects about what staffing agencies can do to retain their employees and also bad bosses. Be right back after this. There it goes. Hey, hope everybody's doing good tonight. I just had two subjects I wanted to talk about real quick tonight. Is one of them we always discuss about what companies can do for the staffing agencies, but we also have things that the staffing agency needs to follow also in order to keep candidates working, better retention, everything, so you don't have to go through all those problems. And there's a couple things that trust me, it's not that much research. I've been through it all, but a lot of it comes down for, like, if the candidates come to your office, don't use the word temporary. Utilize the name, associates. That stigma has to change a little bit. Humanize them. Make them a human. You work for this company or your name company. Hey, Tuvia, how's Florida treating you? Right down in Miami, Florida, Mr. Tuvia. It's been a couple of days. I had a couple of days off, but make them feel real. They come into your branch. They are an employee of yours. So if their results, you work for results. Okay, so you don't work for Coke or Pepsi, but you do have a job. So you need to really make them feel that. Things are different now. You gotta struggle with every candidate you can, boy. And if you can keep them happy, that's gonna make you happier too. But make them feel, be honest about the position. One of the things that some staffing agencies do is, if you don't tell them the complete story of the job, if it's only a 3-month assignment, you need to be honest with them and let them know it's a 3 months assignment. I know people will just say, well, yeah, it's for long term. And that just to be honest, they don't like it. People just don't like it, because then when they go to work and all of a sudden they're laid off after 3 or 4 weeks, they're going to be like, what the heck? I was told this. So kind of treat them, Tubi, I think you would agree, just like customer service. You need to treat your candidates like customer service. I can just say it like that. Treat them fair. If it is a temporary position to permanent, make sure you clarify that and tell them, listen, after 520 hours, you become full-time with the company. If you have a company that you're staffing for, and I know a couple of them, trust me, that say you can get hired on, but it can take you 6 months to a year or even longer, that's crazy. I mean, be honest with them up front and say, listen, they hire 7 people a year. And I know a lot of companies that do that. They only hire 7 or 8. Well, you want to work for them. Oh, yeah. But when you work so long and so hard and you give up a lot, for working for the staffing agencies. And that's a hard thing to do. So be as honest and transparent as you can now, as we've asked the companies also. So you need to read straight up with your candidates. One of the other things was be a team player, have clear communication. Listen, when you have employees start a new job, right, your candidates, reach out. It's very important the first day or two. Reach out. You have text us. You can reach out to 25 people and just say, hey, how was your first day? Hope everything went well. Start it out with that, because they're going to be like, wow, they do know about this. You know what I mean? Because if you have like 50 to 100 associates of yours at a site and they don't hear from you, listen, I'm not sitting there saying I've never done that, because I'm not perfect. And I did not get over to as many clients as I wish I would have, because you're also busy, and everybody's busy, right? To you, busy, but you don't have time to reach out to your candidates and say, how you doing? As simple as that. Drop off, some donuts, pizza, have something going on, because sometimes the candidates don't know that when they're going to a company that they don't get everything that the full-time people do. And what I mean by that, let's just say majority of the times they work together, the company will give your associates joining in on like a picnic or, some kind of special thing going on. They'll include them, but sometimes they don't. So that's where you have to get and want them to work for you. And to you said, anything to get them in the door. Right. And that's why that might have worked. I'm going to put that back up there. That might have worked a while ago. And there we are, we're back. So those days are gone. Again, honest, transparency as you can be. And they'll, I believe, candidates will respect you more for that, and like I said, email them, or if they don't show up, let's just say 2 people don't show up after 4 days, right? And if you don't reach out to them, well, no call, no shows. Some people just put that down. Don't, reach out, get that, find out why. You need to find out why. Why are they leaving? Why are the associates leaving to another job? Are they leaving because of the pay rate? Probably not. Are they leaving because of the shifts? Maybe. But if there's an issue going on, maybe you need to find out by reaching out. I don't tolerate the no call, no shows when candidates do that in logistics. It's tough, because somebody goes home and they don't come back, and then 2 months later they come into your branch and they say, hey, I need a job. That is where the zero tolerance. I'm sorry. I think a lot of people can agree with that. Listen, if they've done that to you once or twice, don't bring them back. Maybe if you say to them, hey, you know what? You come back in 6 months, if you held a job or something like that, we'll give you another chance. But what happens there when you do that, you're setting yourself up for failure. They're going to do it again. And you get that feeling of, wow, you get that client off my back, that client, well, I had to send this candidate. Makes them happy. But when they do it again, there you're out of it again, all over. And again, explain to them when they get hired what the process is. When you get hired, this is going to happen on this date. Let's see what he says. You make time for the things you want to do. Exactly. So, you can go over, reward the candidates. Like I said, visit bi-weekly or weekly. This way you get to see the candidates and you get to see the client. Again, that's going to go a long way in today's market, to show that you care. Simple as that sounds, like a thank you. It means it goes a long ways nowadays. I mean, visit the sites, social media. Listen, if you're at a site and you can't really shake hands that much anymore, but you can get a group picture. Knowing social media to a T, when you're shaking somebody's hand or you're taking a live image and you're posting it on your social media page, let me tell you, that just goes miles. You'll see a lot of likes. A lot of people like that kind of things. When you're rewarding the candidates, something good, something in safety, have something in the background with safety. You're going to see how that will really, some of the candidates will laugh and they'll think it's fun, but you know what? It's fun. And they like that kind of stuff. So do that, and then continue to ask for referrals. That's one of your biggest, and I know Tubia relies totally on that. Referrals are your best, number one. You're not going to get anything better than a referral, and that just really hopes, that they enjoy working for you. The one of the other things is an open door policy. Listen, you need to make sure the candidates know who they can reach out to if they're having problems. If the branch is open during the day, that's fine. There's nothing you can do at night shift, but if that candidate emails you or calls you during the day, make sure you return their calls. Just return them, find out what happened, and let them know that you're there for them. Let them know that you have their back. And it'll go a long way, because if you just brush it off, well, this person said the supervisor was treating them differently or something like that, right? They're the kind of things that you need to know. And, keep them knowing, again, like I said, keep them knowing that you have their back. That's the best way to say it. And when you look at a branch, the branches need to stand out. If you want to be different than some of the other staffing agencies, your branch should be spotless. I'm telling you, it should be set up for success. Everything should be just, not things all over the place, your desk. And, when a candidate walks in that door, the first thing they're going to see is everybody there. Is everything organized? And if it's a mess, I'm telling you, you'll have them turn right around and walk back out. I believe in first impressions. So that's really something that I really am passionate about, maybe from the military, but first impressions go a long way. And when they see that, then they're going to be like, wow. But if you're in that branch and you're just not, you're not being as professional as you can be, that sets off a trigger also for a candidate's experience, if you want to say. Another thing that they talked about is simplify your hiring. I think a lot of people go through this is their hiring process. You've got to make it easy anymore. I'm telling you, easy. If you can get that all done in one day, there's no reason. If you have to do your drug screen, that's a given. But if they're coming in for their drug screen, you should be good to go. Hey, there's Bill, all the way from Pittsburgh. Bill, next time let me know you're in Bethlehem. I'm like 20 minutes from there. I can meet you for lunch. 20 minutes from where you said you were at. So Bill's always a great colleague to reach out to too, and so is Tuvia here. But your branch should be clean, hiring process simple. Get them in there, treat them like a human, not just like another person, but really take your time, because I'm telling you, they will leave in a heartbeat. They're just going to be like, well, that's just another staffing company. That's just another staffing company. You don't want that. You want to really set yourself up for success. And another one of the big things that people have problems with is their payroll. A lot of payroll mistakes. Trust me, I've been in high volume, and really double check your payroll systems. Make sure you're constantly telling the candidates make sure you punch in, make sure you punch out, check your pay stubs, keep track of your own hours. You have to, had a great busy weekend moving. Sure. Are you, yeah, next time let me know, Bill. I'm only 20 minutes away. We can have lunch. So, but just double check payrolls, because sometimes when those candidates, they're not getting their pay, for all of a sudden they're missing 2 days pay. That's where things can go sour, but if you really check everything and just tell the truth, simple as that, so on that part, now comes my favorite. This is just a couple minutes here. Bad bosses and how that affects your turnover. Bad bosses. Whew. What's a bad boss? And no matter how many times you Google it, I'm sure everybody has been through a toxic environment. They want to call it, I like that word, toxic environment, because it's true. You get managers, let's just say micromanage. And we've all been there. That's what makes sometimes your top employees leave. Somebody's micromanaging you constantly. You have the best candidates leave. That's all I'm going to say there is they just leave. And, a bad boss, they're always right. I'm sure you've been there. No matter what you say, they're always right. So you kind of get quiet. You go back a little bit. They play favorites. Some of the bosses might play favorites. In a branch, you have 5-6 people, and they might outcast you. It's just part of a bad boss. That's why I labeled it bad bosses. So what do? They cut you off in the meetings while you're talking. Everybody feels it in the team. Everybody feels it. There he is. Hey, Rob. I'm not going to ask Rob how his job's going. Hopefully it's going well, Rob. But that's a separate conversation. I hope you're enjoying that new place, boy. I know we've been talking about it, but Rob's also a good candidate. I mean, a good person to connect with on LinkedIn. But bad boss might play favorites with you, cut you off, like I said, make comments, gestures. They think when they tell their other colleagues in the office, that manager has to be careful because that gets back to the employees. It always does, because that that employee will go and tell you what they said. And that, again, really hits that toxic environment. I'm sorry. And it can really stress you out, stress your life out, stress your family life out. And everybody's experienced it. So they speak loud. This was some of the stuff I wrote, and rudely that's happened, they tell you what to do, and it doesn't matter if it's right or wrong. You have to do it. Just do it. And when you get that gut feeling, that's another one that when you're at a company, if you're having issues, you just know it as an employee, and everybody's been there, I believe, within their careers probably. Hey, oh my God, long time, Melissa Moore. Holy crow. How you been, Melissa? That's been a long time. Probably been about a year. She's a great coach, and you want to definitely connect with Melissa. She's awesome. But when you get that gut feeling that the manager's out for you, or, there's some things that you can do that'll help a lot. And that's go to your HR department. Simple as that. HR is there for you. Listen, they've got great training with it. They know they have to be kind of in the middle. They're there for you because that's your rights. So if you went to HR about a boss, it's okay. You might think you're going to feel scared. You are. You're going to be nervous. Oh, what about if I lose my job or if I do that? I've heard people say that. Go, but make sure you have your facts straight. Write things down if somebody's bothering you or something's going on. Write it down. Write the dates. If you've gotten emails that you didn't like or something that was said the wrong way, save the email. Let's say, I've been good. We need to catch up. I'm working on some training development that may benefit you with the pre-employment test. That is a deal, Melissa. I'll reach out to you. Definitely. And we'll talk about that. But just remember, HR is there for you. I know they scare the hell out of everybody. Listen, HR, when you get called into HR, everybody knows the way I say this is, I'm sorry. It's not like, hey, you're doing a great job. If that was the case, but HR still scares me at my age, man. You get called in there, it's either what's going on or you did something. But no, seriously, reach out to them. Because if you can, as a boss, if you can really help that candidate or help that employee do better and just take that stress off the person, because HR has to go and talk to the other party. They have to. So when you're in staffing, right? Just because you're working for a client, right? I want you to really listen to this. You work for, say, Results, and we have you working at Coke or Pepsi, right? And if something's going on with a manager from the client and yourself, whether it could be harassment, everything that we talked about, you need to tell your employer, right? And HR or the employer will investigate that. They have to. They cannot just say, well, ignore it. Everybody has the rights to a great work environment. And again, I'm going to say it one more time, go to your human resources and don't be afraid. Don't be nervous. You're not going to lose your job. If that's totally different. An HR person will take that very, very serious. They have to, because that's what they're trained for. That's what they're there for. They will do an investigation for you. They will come back. And the majority of the time, you'll feel it's off your chest. Trust me, it happened to me. That happened to me. And let me tell you, when you do this, when you let that monkey up your back, you want to call it, or elephant on your back, or, you feel a lot better. So if something's going on in the workplace, make sure you tell your manager or the HR. So on that note, 20 minutes tonight. Bill, Tuvia, Rob, Melissa, we'll catch up on that, whatever you have there. So everybody have a great night. And again, we'll be back tomorrow. I always like to end it with some of these new videos. Let's try this one.